Theyyam is an inseparable form of lives of people in North Malabar. At a time when villages are being surrounded by cities, one cannot find not a single village in North Malabar where Theyyam is not performed. For them, Theyyam is something more than an art form. Theyyam plays many roles in the central, social and spiritual lives of the people. The most important of role that Theyyam plays is consolation, which in local parlance is Santhvanam. Tension in daily lives get relieved, the weight in the mind is removed. Consolation or Santhvanam provided by the Theyyam is equivalent to the counseling given by modern psychiatrists. That's why Theyyam remains untouched by progress in the field of science and technology. Theyyam is not a mere art form for the people who support it. Those who had visualized it as a mere art form take Theyyam away from its original context to make it an ostentatious scene in advertisements, processions and stage shows. This happens just because they do not realize the faith and spirit of those who believe in Theyyam. The evidence that Theyyam is not a mere show is its inseparable relation with the people of North Malabar. It's not a social relation alone. It is something more than that. It, in fact, is a direct link with each human being and his or her mental and spiritual being. This ritual is based on faith. Theyyam unties the great strength that helps one to reach the solace of virtues after conquering the evil.
ഈ പതിനായിരക്കണക്കിൽ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ലക്ഷക്കണക്കിൽ ആളുകൾ ഒത്തുചേരുന്നത് ഇവിടെ ഈ വിശ്വാസത്തിന്റെ ഫലം തന്നെ ആവണം.
According to Dr. A.K. Nambia, famous folklorist and secretary of Kerala Folklore Academy, it is nothing but sheer faith that leads most of the people to the places where Theyyam is performed. They are being led to such places as part of their faith. Hundreds, thousands of people throng the places where Perinkaliyatams are performed. They are doing this owing to the realization that Theyyam is part of their self. What they find, there is a fusion of the self based on caste and community. The place where Theyyam is performed becomes the venue for a social gathering devoid of the barriers of caste and religion, says Dr. Nambia. Theyyam is equivalent to God. Yes, Theyyam is God incarnation. Gods never talk, but Theyyam talks. North Kerala has over 400 Theyya columns chronicling the heroic sagas of forefathers and heroes of yesteryears, expressing the different forms of Kshatriya, Shaiva and Vaishnava gods. All Theyyams bless, console and advise the devotees.
രൂപത്തിലാണെങ്കിലും നിനക്കതിന്റെ വഴി ഞാൻ ഉണ്ടാക്കി തന്നാ പോരെ, പേടിക്കണ്ട. വേവനാതി വേണ്ട, അമ്മയില്ലേ ചതിക്കാതെ ചെയ്യും കേട്ടോ. വേണ്ട.
ദൈവത്തിന്റെ വരദാനം മനുഷ്യന് ലഭിക്കുകയാണ്.
As pointed out by folklorist Professor B. Muhammad Ahmad, there is a place where all Theyyams shower blessings on the devotees. This could be described as the stage of appeasement of the god. At this stage, we can demand the Theyyam whatever we need. Theyyam responds to our wishes, he says. Is the Varavali of all Theyyams. Varavali is a ritual that helps to invoke the divine spirit of the god or goddess into human body. The man who dons the Theyya column states that the divine grace has to reach him for three purposes. One, for the goddess to listen to the totem, or in other words, the lore behind the creation of the particular Theyyam. Two, for the goddess to see the column. Three, to tell the gunadoshams, that is, the right and the wrongs. It is the presence of the god or the goddess that is desired through the first two demands. Once it is achieved, Theyyam begins to advise and console the devotees. The Vajale, divine utterances of each Theyyam is different. It differs in accordance with the facial expressions of the Murti. Theyyams such as Muchilot Bhagavati, Thai Paradevada, Makapodi speak in gentle female voices. Those with terrific appearance speak in rough voice. Theyyams such as Muttapan and Wayanad Kulavan speak in the tone of a grandfather to grandchildren, and their speech will be full of affection and at the same time commanding.
ദേവൻ വളരെ സ്ഥാനവും നിറവാടാണ്. മുത്തപ്പനും എവിടെ എത്തിയാലും ആനപ്പാണ്ടി പരദേശികളുടെ സ്ഥലത്ത് മുക്കോല പെരയെ കൈക്കൊണ്ടേ മുത്തപ്പന് പൈക്കറ്റ് വെച്ച് സത്യ മഹാദേവി മറപ്പനായിട്ട് മാറുന്നത് ആ ഗ്രാമത്തിൽ ഇവിടുന്ന് കൂടി കാണാൻ വേദി ഉണ്ടാക്കി തന്നു. പിന്നെ ഏരിയ അങ്ങോട്ടുള്ള പിന്നെ അസുഖത്തെ പറ്റി ഇപ്പോഴും അവരെങ്ങനെയുണ്ട് കുറച്ചത് പേര് കൊടുക്കലേ അവിടെ മുത്തപ്പതിനും ആ മഴ പോലെ കാര്യങ്ങളുടെ മഞ്ഞ് പോലെ കൊടുക്കട്ടെ ആ ധന്യന്ത്രനാഥനായിട്ട് ഈ ഇടവും മലവന്ദനയും നിലനാ പോലെ കൊണ്ട്
Theyyams that influence the devotees most as counselors are Muthappan and Makapodi. The Vellatams of Muthappan Theyyam are being performed since time and space. The popularity is astounding. People also call Muthappan Vellatam as Nammala Muthappan. This might have derived from the belief that Nambiyal Adava Vishwasichal Kaividata Devam, which in English means the God that would come to the aid of those who believe in him. Muthappan has a solution for all issues concerning human life such as marriage, profession, childbirth, family security, house construction and marital harmony, etc. Though all Theyyam's discourse is based on life, Muthappan is a bit different or ahead in the subject he deals with. Issues such as Atma, soul, Paralogam, netherworld, Moksham, heaven, that are not directly linked with material life rarely occurs in Muthappan's talk. This shows Theyyam always remain on the plain surface of human life. Makapodi is mainly performed as offering for childbirth. This Theyyam has a special place in women's mind. Long line of women who unbundle their grievances before the deity, weeping like anything and at the end shedding tears of solace, are a common sight wherever Makapodi is performed. The story of Makam is as touching as that of Kannagi in Chelapadigaram. It is the story of a virtuous and a lovable young lady belonging to a feudal Nair family practicing matriarchal system, who was done to death by her own beloved brothers owing to the tale-bearing of their wives. Makam's 2 kids also got brutally killed along with her. The atrocities that haunted her family and the village forced the village folk to perform Makam and her 2 kids in the form of Theyyam.
വിശ്വാസമില്ലാതെ മനുഷ്യന് ഒരു കാലഘട്ടത്തിലും ജീവിതമില്ല. നമ്മുടെ എല്ലാ തത്വശാസ്ത്രങ്ങളുടെയും
There is no meaning in questioning the logic behind this, as man cannot survive without faith. There are several psychological facts in this. Behind every Theyyam, there is something that provides us consolation, says Professor Muhammad Ahmad. Some Theyyams make predictions on future and unknown realities. These predictions are made in such a way that do not cause any damage or harm to the society or to the personal relationship of people. The person who dons the Theyyam would always be an expert in doing this. The expertise of the Theyyam in making predictions is what the parapsychology studies claim as the power of the mind to reveal the unknown.
അതെഞ്ചലപ്പെടുത്താതെ സ്വീകരിക്കട്ടെ കുഞ്ഞിനുട്ടി മാതാവേ എന്ന് എൻ്റെ വലിയ മുറ്റം തറവാട്ടിൽ കൽപ്പിച്ചതാണല്ലോ കേട്ടോ എന്നിട്ട് പ്രാർത്ഥന പോലെ അഞ്ചലപ്പെടുത്താതെ സ്വീകരിക്കട്ടെ കുഞ്ഞിനുട്ടി
നമ്മളെ മുഖത്തിൽ പങ്കുചേരില്ലേന്ന് ദൈവം എന്ന നിലയിലും മനുഷ്യൻ എന്ന നിലയിലും ദൈവത്തോട് വന്ന് പറയുന്ന സങ്കടങ്ങൾ അത് ആ ദൈവത്തോട് വന്നു പറയുന്ന സങ്കടങ്ങളിലേക്ക് നമ്മളെ മനസ്സും കൂർപ്പിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അതാണ് നമ്മുടെ മനസ്സും അവർക്ക് അത് ഇന്ന തെയ്യം മുഖേനയാണ്.
According to Venu Peruvannan, a Theyyam performer, Theyyam shares the joys and sorrows of the devotees. The mind of Theyyam gets concentrated into the mind of the devotee. A lot of training is needed to do this. Most of the Theyyams observe Vridham, that is, they spend a few days in prayers, totally abstaining from all worldly pleasures. Vridham is observed inside a hut erected before the cow or the sacred place of performance. This is done to get a mental union with the Murti or God whose Theyyam is going to be performed. This in fact is a preparation to become the Theyyam. Nambala Muttappan is also called as Manodayakaran, that is, one who reads mind. Kolakaran knows that the power that grows inside him helps him to talk the right thing to the devotee. He considers this power as the God he has brought down the mountain.
മഹാദേവിക്ക് ഇവിടെ മുഖം മറച്ചവൾക്ക് കൊടുക്കേണ്ട കല്ലാടിമാല. പക്ഷെ എനക്കേണ്ട കല്ലാടിയാ ഈടെയല്ലേ കൊണ്ടൊക്കെ ഇവനല്ലേ പറഞ്ഞേ ഞാനാ കൊണ്ടുവന്നെന്ന്. ഇവനക്ക് വല്ല അവിടെ എന്നങ്ങനെയല്ല നിന്റെ പൈതങ്ങളല്ല നിന്റെ ഒരു ചോര പരിസം വന്നാ വന്ന കർമ്മം ചെയ്യണ്ട എന്തെങ്കിലും സമയം നിനക്ക് എന്തെങ്കിലും ആക്കുക.
പിന്നെ ഇപ്പം നമ്മൾ കുറി കൊടുത്തൊക്കെ അനുഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നതിൻ്റെ പിന്നിലെ പിന്നെ മനഃശാസ്ത്രപരമായ ഒരു പ്രശ്നം.
Professor Muhammad Ahmad says that the blessings that Theyyam showers on the devotees is a consolation for the receiver. Now just listen to what Dr. A.K. Nambiar has to say. Amidst their hurry of their lives, some people visit Theyyam seeking solutions for their worries. Theyyams perform things that are psychological in nature. Some say that it's godly power, while others consider it as a psychological treatment. Theyyam plays a great role in reading the minds of the devotees and suggesting remedies to them. I know several instances in which the Theyyam, acting as a mediator, found solution to several domestic problems and disputes. Perhaps it is the ability of the Theyyam to have direct interaction with the minds of the village folk that has made it so popular. The divine utterances of Theyyams provide consolation to people who are drifting aimlessly in the great river that is life. The psychological treatment it gives to people is highly amazing.